Well, Kai Havertz's first bid from Arsenal to Chelsea is incoming. The value of it has been told to us by the Chelsea correspondent for the Evening Standard. Then we're also having Radi of the Times, and Fabrizio Romano has a very big hint about Kai Havertz to Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. Good evening. Where are you watching us from? I hope you guys are really having a fantastic day. Muslims welcome back from the mosques. Juma Karim, the Christians, I hope the Lord is going to do the best for you today, and you guys are really doing great onto this YouTube channel. We are talking Raphinha finally issues a statement on his future at Barcelona, very much linked to Arsenal, and he is really one of those that Arteta has admired for a very, very long time. And lastly, we are going to discuss Balogun, who has gone ahead to find himself making his debut for the US national team in a game where they beat Mexico by, was it 4 goals? So we're going to be discussing all that and more into the next minutes, and I hope you guys are really going to enjoy this episode as we're going ahead to enjoy others. Now, let's start it off with Niza Kinsella. Niza Kinsella started it off. He's a Chelsea correspondent for the Standard Sport. He has confirmed to us that 50 million in perhaps a fairer price given Kai Havertz has been hit and miss since his £71 million move from Leverkusen, has just 2 years left on his deal and is reluctant to renew. We were informed regarding the 50 million price last night. Around 10 million pounds will be in add-ons. That is Niza Kinsella. That is it coming in from the Chelsea correspondent, meaning that he's getting this story from the source. And then Tommy Roddy is a football reporter at the Times. He has said Arsenal are sending a bid in excess of 55 million pounds for Kai Havertz. And I think you've heard it all. Arsenal are sending in a bid for Kai Havertz. And this is the best news that any Arsenal fan would like to hear after yesterday submitting their first bid of Declan Rice of about 90 million pounds, 80 million pounds plus add-ons, and it was really rejected by West Ham, right? As it stands, Arsenal are trying to really chase onto fronts. They are chasing on the fronts of Declan Rice, and they are chasing on the fronts of Kai Havertz. What does that show you? Arteta wants players in before he goes to America, and this has been a norm that Arsenal has been doing ever since the arrival of Edu and Mikel Arteta. They sign most of their players before they travel for the preseason. That's it. So Kai Havertz, Niza Kinsella talking about 50 million pounds with 10 million pounds of add-ons. That means 40 million pounds up front and 50 million pounds of add-ons. I think that would be a very good business, and Arsenal would have gone ahead to get themselves a very good player at that price. And obviously they're talking about the hit and miss. But I've always told you that Kai Havertz came in at Arsenal at the age of 20. Was it 2021? Sorry, came in at Chelsea at the age of 2021. He came in 2020, right? 2020. He has been there in 2021, 2022, 2023, and now he's 24. At that age, every player would need to be managed by a single manager to see to it that he elevates him into the next level of his prime. I've told you Bukayo Saka. If Arsenal happened to sack Mikel Arteta after 1 or 2 years, you never know, Bukayo Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, and Gabriel Martinelli wouldn't have become the players they've become. But Arteta came in through, changed even the position of Bukayo Saka, got him from the left back and left wing. He played him as a right winger, and that's where we've seen Bukayo Saka blossom. Do you know why he's blossoming? Because he's having a manager that believes in him, and this manager is here to really take them to the next level. Look at Martinelli, Emile Smith-Rowe, all those players that you see that Mikel is going to hate to sign, that are thriving because Arteta has given them a chance and he believes in them. I tell you, you sack Mikel Arteta now. This is hypothetical. You sack Mikel Arteta now, Zinchenko can't last at Arsenal for the next 2 seasons, if at all a different manager comes in through the different ideas and thoughts. So that has been a factor that has affected Kai Havertz. Let me give you an example at Man United. Rashford, Anton Martial were really good players under Louis van Gaal. But in that spell of changing managers, getting Mourinho, getting Solskjaer, they lost out in that mess. So, Kai Havertz has been doing what he's supposed to do, and he has been affected by the changes of managers happening at Chelsea. Kai Havertz was bought by Frank Lampard, after spending like, I think it was 1 season with him. Did he even last the season? Because Frank Lampard was sacked around December 2020. He never lasted a season with Frank Lampard. He lasted just 8 months with Thomas Tuchel and was sacked. He lasted just 6-7 months with Graham Potter. So, how can you expect a player of quality like Kai Havertz to thrive in a system that is really discombobulated at the club of Chelsea? That's why Mason Mount wants out. And I don't want anyone to judge Kai Havertz because of his past at Chelsea. All I want to lay your yardstick is simple. Look at a player who has found himself in a situation of obviously being talented, and Mikel is willing to lift him up and take him where he's supposed to be. 24 years of age, still young, and I think that bid might be successful for the very first time. And Arsenal might be signing Kai Havertz and Declan Rice by the end of next week. And we might get in medical news over the weekend, because I know those 2 bids, one of them is not going to hit a miss, according to me. And Arsenal will make sure that their second bid of Declan Rice they submit really goes ahead and obviously gets approved by West Ham. I've seen people talking of Arsenal submitting in a bid. It's coming in from our West Ham channel. Then I'm going to come out next week and really discuss about. But for Kai Havertz, it's really concrete, because even Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to let us the following that this bid is on its way in. Official bid to follow for Kai Havertz, as personal terms won't be an issue. The player given his green light to Arsenal yesterday. Chelsea asking price already £75 million, but they'll be flexible. Sources confirm. Talks are on between Chelsea and Arsenal to see to it that they really get this deal out of the way. And for Chelsea and Arsenal, I think they're really doing some good business. Recently, I've seen players come from Chelsea and they've joined Arsenal. And Willian was the first in the season of 2020. Leave alone that Gala says Ashley Cole crossing from Arsenal to Chelsea, David Luiz. So Arsenal really having some good connections. But recently, we've seen Arsenal sign Willian, though it was a free agent. The most recent player they've gotten is Jorginho in the January transfer window, and they got on table, they discussed, and obviously got him at £12.5 million. And I think Arsenal is using those connections, and I think they are going to find themselves in a position of obviously agreeing a deal with Chelsea. £50 million. Tom Roddy of Times telling us 55 in excess of 55. Let's wait and see how that is going to pan out, because it's really so much important to know how much the player is coming or crossing for from the other side of London to the north side of London. I think they're on the east side, right? And Arsenal are in the north side of London. Now, let's do a little bit of Raphinha. He has gone ahead and spoken about his future at Barcelona. With lots of problems that are really financial at Barcelona, no player is safe. No player is recommended that he is really here to stay. Raphinha is one of those whose stories have been staggering a lot on social media, and very many media outlets are really credible that Barcelona want to sell him to raise money to see to it that they really get in players. Raphinha said, I'll continue at Barcelona next season, and the season after that, and the season after that. I have many years of contract. I hope to fulfill those years and many more. I'm comfortable here. That is what Raphinha is going to hate to say. But Raphinha is speaking this on the point of obsession. That's it. He's just obsessed with Barcelona. If at all you know what Frankie de Jong said before they got knocked out of the semi-finals of the Nations League by Croatia 4-2. Raphinha wouldn't have gone ahead to say this. When you look at Barcelona, De Jong is more important to Barcelona than Raphinha. Why? He plays in a more sensitive position that Barcelona have gone ahead to lose Sergio Busquets. You know, De Jong said that he would love to stay at Barcelona, but he doesn't know what the future has for him. De Jong never thought that Barcelona would plan to sell him last summer, but they had put him on market. And if he never resisted to stay because of the deferred wages of 17 million euros, he would have found himself at Man United. So, when you look at Raphinha, he's one of those players that Barcelona can sell and get close to 70 or 80 million euros. So, he should know that Barcelona is a difficult situation. Tobias, the president of La Liga, told them that they need to sell or to make sales of players worth 210 million euros. This time round, they're not supposed to go out and really pull out levers. That's what Xavi has been told. And Joan Laporte, the president of Barcelona, they've been told that you aren't going to pull levers. And if at all you're not going to pull levers, that puts you in a very, very, very complicated scenario and situation. So, Raphinha, don't be surprised when we are here next month when Barcelona is calling in for people to buy him. I understand he loves Barcelona, but Barcelona has Ousmane Dembele. He can play to that position. They can switch Pedri that side. They can switch Ferran Torres that side. So, if Barcelona can't find other players to sell like Ansu Fati and so on and so forth, for the arrival of other players to come and reinforce the midfield, because right now the midfield of Barcelona is really weak, Raphinha might find himself onto the market. So I understand his obsession to start Barcelona. He fought and stood his ground that I'm not going to Arsenal, though Arsenal had made a £6 million bid approved by Leeds. Chelsea had done the same. But he said, I'm waiting for Barcelona. And Barcelona came in through and obviously signed this player. So, Mr. Raphinha, I wouldn't expect you to say those statements. Being at Barcelona right now is not guaranteed because Barcelona might find themselves selling you. Unless otherwise, the 1st of September comes up and you stay at Barcelona. So, thank you very much for watching through. Let's talk about Balogun making his debut for the American national team. They are playing against Mexico in the CONCACAF Nations League. Christian Pulisic scored a brace and Ricardo Pepi scored the 3rd goal. It ended 3-0 in favor of USA. Weston McCain got a red card and Balogun played some minutes, so he was really taken off, but he really had a very decent game. Though he never scored, but he played some good minutes. And it's always good to score on your debut. Like yesterday, I saw Garnacho debut for Argentina, but he never scored. So thank you guys for watching it through. Tell me your thoughts about Kai Havertz's first bid incoming. Arsenal sending it in. Do you think it's going to be accepted or rejected as it was for Declan Rice? Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. Say your letters, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God protect you abundantly. And my Muslim friends, right? And subscribers, Juma Kareem. Welcome back from the mosque. May Allah reward you abundantly. Keep it Rokani Media Football. It has been the Arsenal News Show. Strictly Ama.